and welcome back to Camping with Katie. Here we are headed south and east this time, down to Edisto Island, South Carolina. And Edisto is there north of Savannah, south of Charleston. And though it took us a while to get there, you'll understand why once you're there. It is not a very commercialized place. The farther you go, the closer you get to the island. Well, the closer you crawl towards the island, the less and less the traffic gets, the smaller the roads get. And you find yourself kind of taken back in time. If you're a big beach person and you like all the stores and all the shopping opportunities, Edisto might not be the place for you. No high-rise condos, no big chain stores there. There is a Food Lion on the island, but again, the building is probably well older than I am, and it's just like stepping back in time as you turn off of Highway 17 and eventually make your way across various salt marshes. You come to this bridge, and that is a signal that you are making your way out onto the island. The island itself, though it's not commercialized, that I think lends to the wildlife that you get to see while you're there. There's a lot of life around every corner, every nook, and every cranny. There's something alive, something moving, which, depending on your disposition, can be great or can be kind of scary. But as you drive under the old live oaks and the Spanish moss, you make your way to a time that's just a little bit different, a little longer ago. Now, there are two parts of the state park. There's the state park that's on the beach, which I don't think I have any video of for us today, but then there's also this live oak campground, which is back off of the beach and back over a little bit of salt marsh. And so it's a little more sheltered, I would say, from wind and those kind of things. But at the same time, you get a lot more shade there in that campground. Katie making her way to the ranger station to check us in. 5 years ago, we did this in a tent, and it was miserable. This time, we've got Woofy and his air conditioner, and so things are a lot better. Also, that bathhouse on the left there is it now is air conditioned as well, and so that was a absolutely joyous surprise that we got to experience. Katie's mom and dad also stayed in the campground there with us. And so that was a nice treat as well. We were able to do a couple of meals there. They hosted one night. We hosted one of the other evenings. Evelyn trying to figure out what to do about the sand being in her shoes. One of the things on this trip is I let the girls take more liberties to use cameras, and so we'll get some footage from them. If a shot's overly shaky or blurry, I'm just going to say that probably one of the girls taking it for us. Did rain on us a day or two, but nothing too long. After that first night, we got geared up and we did do some fishing for the week. Katie's sister, Maggie, rented or worked with her family in renting a house, and that's it there in the background to the right. But had a nice boardwalk out to a little covered shelter before it went down to a pier. We were able to take the kayaks, and we did get to go out with Randy, Katie's daddy, one day and do some kayaking. The kids went to the beach while Micaiah and I and Randy did that. We came back, and as the water drains out, you get to see all the oysters there, and then these snails, which are just all over everything. And while we did do a good many things, I did get to spend some time just relaxing, as you can see Ethan doing here. But everywhere you look, there's life. And getting to share that with family. Did catch a few blue crabs. Didn't keep any of them or eat any of them, but did just have fun pulling them in slowly and scooping them up. Smile for James. It's our new brother-in-law. Maggie's husband. One thing about being on that side of the island is you get to see the sunset over the marshes, and it was absolutely gorgeous that time of night. On Wednesdays, they have folks come down and have a craft fair type, what they call the market, down at the piers. That's the biggest building, I think, on the island. That was in the back of that shot. But there in that little area near the boat docks on the southern end of the island is this little market. And like the lady doing the sawgrass baskets and those kind of things, they come from Charleston, Savannah, and all sorts of places. Sweetgrass basket, excuse me. And then we spent one morning there on the beach. Got to meet some old friends from South Carolina that had come down for the day. Micaiah and I did some fishing. Didn't catch a thing. But it did give the kids an opportunity to experience sunburns again. Olivia loves to wade out and ride the waves a little bit. All right, Evelyn, take the camera and give us some good footage. Motion sickness warning. Buster the raccoon picking up pork rinds from the dinner the night before. We headed over to the Nature Interpretation Center. Their nature center is seriously fantastic. It is very neat. The lady there showing us, talking about the whelks, which will come back to bite us in the end, so to speak. Here, you'll see that in a minute. But the girls spent some time taking some pictures for us. Got some very blurry shots, but some good shots as well. Ethan, Mackay, myself, and Randy, my father-in-law, went out to Steamboat Landing, where Ethan caught the only fish of the week, and then also caught a stingray. But you've got to go a ways to get there, down very dusty roads. Sitting there on the pier at Aunt Maggie's house, we got to see these little crabs, all sorts of things, all sorts of birds, including the spoonbill that was straining the runoff from the marshes. And yes, he was pinker than he seems here in the picture. We did go one night out to the beach to see if we could see some turtles, because it was turtle nesting season. We didn't get to experience that. We thought we might have seen something in the waves there, but didn't get to see one come up on the beach and nest, and didn't get to see any of the nests hatch. I think it was Thursday of that week. We spent most of that day, or maybe it was Friday, I don't remember. We spent most of that day, though, working on the alternator, getting it fixed on the truck. It decided to quit on us. Went out to Botany Bay, which is on the southern end of the island, and there you get to walk through the marsh, and it is a walk. If you go out that way, just be ready to walk. If you want to get out to the beach and see the trees and those kind of things, just be ready to walk to get out to it. But it is neat to see all the old standing and fallen dead trees there on the seashore, and see the roots sticking up out of the sand. They say if you walk more than an hour, you get to see some really, really unique and pretty sights there. We didn't go that far. And there's the whelk that finally bought us, or bit us.
Hey y'all, just wanted to take a few minutes and give you a quick update on myself. So we are a week away from being 6 months post-surgery. Yes, it's hard to believe it's already been 6 months. And the differences are unbelievable. In my mind, God truly gave me a miracle when I was able to have my surgery in February. So I've been through, programmed me in February, programmed me in April, programmed me in June. So I've had 3 programmings so far. I'll have my 4th programming of the study August 27th. The one in June did not go very well. That program didn't agree with me. Stimulating whatever area of the brain they were stimulating caused me to have a lot of non-motor symptoms, which is the fatigue, depression, anxiety, brain fog. I wasn't a very pretty sight for those couple weeks before we were able to get me in to have me reprogrammed. Thankfully, my nurse practitioner is also my programmer, and she was able to get us in the week of Bible school and get me switched over to a program I had prior to the last programming, and it worked really well. She also gave me a trial program I had not had before, and it ended up being the one I'm on now, and it is by far the best one I have had. I have very few tremors, if any, on my right side. My non-motor symptoms are a lot better, and overall I'm doing great. My biggest issue right now is sleep. I'm just not able to sleep through the night most nights. And that takes its toll, but, if I have to trade a little sleep to feel this much better, I'll do it. It's definitely been worth it. And I can honestly say I'm looking forward to next year when we can start talking about having the other side done. So thank you for your continued prayers, your support, your love. So about 7 weeks after my surgery, we had an F3 tornado go through the community where our church is, which is Ohatchee, Alabama. It had a path that was over 30 miles long. It destroyed over 100 homes. And we hit the ground running. Literally, that Friday morning. It hit on a Thursday afternoon. So Friday morning we hit the ground running, and we did tornado work non-stop until, I guess, right before we went to the beach, which was, we went on the 11th of June and got to spend a week at the beach at Edisto with my family. Oh, July. Okay. Coming back from the beach, realized that my body and my brain and my emotions and my family and I needed me to take a break. So I have stepped back from tornado work, and we are getting ready to start another school year. This will be our 10th year homeschooling. Micaiah is going into the 9th grade. Yes, I have a freshman in high school now. Olivia is going into 6th grade, and Evelyn's going into 3rd. We'll be starting that probably August 2nd or 3rd. And gearing up for that, we are also gearing up for revival at church August 15th through the 19th with evangelist Michael Mason. And in the middle of all of that is Micaiah's birthday. The kids will also be testing for their next Taekwondo belts. So Olivia will be testing for her first degree black belt decided, which means she gets her belt with her name on it. Micaiah will be testing for his probationary black belt, and Evelyn will be testing for her brown belt. So a lot going on. And I said something wrong. Sorry, Micaiah is testing for first degree recommended black belt. I never get them right. After a while, it all runs together. But the kids are doing great. They're sad to see summer already over. But we are going to gear up with school because we have some pretty neat things going on this fall, including a vacation. I'll be a week away just to hide and have fun and be a family, and then camping trips with friends, and who knows what else Adventures with Camping with Katie might bring.